Did you know that across the United States, there are cities that have faced such severe decline and challenges that they are considered dead in terms of economic activity, population growth, and overall vitality? These cities, once bustling hubs of activity and prosperity, have faced various forms of demise, be it through deindustrialization, natural disasters, or other socioeconomic factors, leading to dramatic population loss, widespread abandonment, and a sense of hopelessness among the remaining residents. From the rusting remnants of industrial powerhouses in the Rust Belt to ghost towns left in the wake of economic shifts, these cities offer a stark reminder of the transient nature of urban success and the complex challenges facing urban development. In today's episode, we are exploring 10 American cities that are dead forever, delving into the causes of their decline, the current state of affairs, and the lessons we can learn from their fall from grace. Join our community today and be a part of the change. Subscribe now to stay informed, inspired, and involved in our journey towards making a difference. Number 10. Gary, Indiana, once a booming steel manufacturing city, epitomizes the profound impact of industrial decline on urban centers in the United States. Founded in 1906 by the United States Steel Corporation, Gary's prosperity was tightly interwoven with the fortunes of the steel industry. At its peak, the city was a vibrant, bustling hub, attracting workers from across the nation with the promise of jobs and prosperity. However, as the steel industry began to wane in the latter half of the 20th century, Gary faced a devastating economic downturn. The city's heavy reliance on steel left it vulnerable to industry shifts, including global competition and technological changes, leading to massive job losses. The ensuing economic challenges were compounded by population decline, with residents leaving in search of better opportunities elsewhere. This exodus resulted in widespread urban decay, with numerous abandoned homes and buildings marking the landscape, and significantly strained municipal finances, limiting the city's ability to provide essential services and invest in revitalization efforts. Number 9. Detroit, Michigan stands as a symbol of both the rise and fall of the American automotive industry, reflecting broader economic trends and challenges. This city, once the heart of automotive manufacturing and innovation, known globally as Motor City, entered the 21st century grappling with significant issues. The decline of the automotive industry, marked by increased competition from overseas manufacturers and significant shifts in economic policies, led to a drastic reduction in jobs and contributed to the city's financial instability. Detroit's woes culminated in 2013 when it filed for the largest municipal bankruptcy in U.S. history. This financial crisis was a result of decades-long processes, including population loss, where nearly two-thirds of its peak population moved away, eroding the tax base and leading to a vicious cycle of disinvestment. The city's landscape became characterized by vast tracts of abandoned homes, industrial sites, and commercial buildings, making it a stark emblem of urban decay. Despite these adversities, Detroit has been the focus of ambitious urban renewal and economic diversification efforts aimed at revitalizing its downtown and some neighborhoods, attempting to pivot away from its singular reliance on manufacturing. Number 8. Camden, New Jersey, has long been emblematic of urban decline in the post-industrial United States, grappling with a unique set of challenges that have hindered its ability to sustain economic and social vitality. Historically an industrial hub, Camden suffered from the widespread collapse of manufacturing bases in the latter half of the 20th century, leading to a significant loss of jobs. This economic downturn was exacerbated by a series of socio-political issues, including inadequate urban policies, systemic poverty, and high crime rates, which further discouraged investment and residential stability. The city's waterfront, once a bustling trade and manufacturing district, fell into disuse, symbolizing the broader decline. In recent years, Camden has been the focus of comprehensive efforts to address these deep-rooted issues, including economic development initiatives aimed at attracting new businesses and improving public safety. However, the city's struggle with educational disparities and the ongoing need for infrastructure improvement remain significant barriers to reversing the trends of decay. Number 7. Flint. Michigan's narrative is deeply intertwined with a water crisis that not only highlighted infrastructural neglect, but also exposed broader systemic failures affecting the city. This crisis began in 2014, when Flint switched its water source to the Flint River without adequate treatment to prevent lead corrosion from old pipes, leading to a public health disaster. The water crisis became a national scandal, underscoring decades of mismanagement and environmental injustice that disproportionately impacted the city's predominantly African American and economically disadvantaged population. Beyond the water crisis, Flint's challenges are rooted in the decline of the auto industry, which once provided the foundation for its economy and community identity. The closure of General Motors plants and the subsequent job losses devastated the city, leading to a sharp decline in population and leaving vast areas of vacant homes and commercial spaces. The combined effect of economic downturns and the water crisis has made Flint emblematic of urban decline, struggling with public health, trust in government, and revitalization. Despite these adversities, there are concerted efforts by local leaders, community organizations, and residents to rebuild and address the systemic issues facing Flint, aiming for a future that rectifies past injustices and fosters sustainable growth. Number 6. Centralia, Pennsylvania, presents a unique case of a town effectively erased from the map due to an environmental catastrophe. In 1962, a fire ignited in a coal seam beneath the town, and it has been burning ever since, creating hazardous living conditions through toxic smoke and the risk of sudden ground subsidence. This disaster prompted a near-total evacuation, sanctioned by the government, which offered relocation assistance to residents. Over the years, the persistent fire has rendered the town a ghostly landscape, with abandoned buildings and cracked, smoke-filled streets serving as stark reminders of the community that once thrived there. Unlike other cities that faced decline due to economic shifts or industrial downturns, Centralia's demise is directly attributable to an uncontrollable environmental disaster. The few buildings that remain stand as eerie monuments to the town's former life. Centralia's story has fascinated many as a real-life ghost town, attracting visitors drawn to its apocalyptic scenery. Yet, it also serves as a somber warning about the dangers of mining practices and the long-lasting impact they can have on human settlements. Number 5. Youngstown, Ohio, embodies the quintessential narrative of American Rust Belt cities that have undergone dramatic transformation due to industrial restructuring. Once a flourishing center for steel production, Youngstown's economic foundation crumbled in the late 20th century when the steel industry underwent significant decline. The closure of steel mills in the late 1970s, an event locally referred to as Black Monday, marked the beginning of a profound economic downturn, leading to massive job losses and a sharp decrease in population. This exodus left the city with a legacy of vacant homes, derelict factories, and diminished public services, further exacerbating social and economic challenges. Unlike cities that faced a singular catastrophic event, Youngstown's decline was a gradual process of deindustrialization, making recovery efforts complex and multifaceted. In recent years, Youngstown has embarked on innovative urban planning initiatives aimed at reinventing itself, including the adoption of a shrinking city model to manage decline in a sustainable manner. These efforts focus on improving quality of life for remaining residents, attracting new economic activities, and addressing the physical scars of its industrial past. Number 4. Peacher, Oklahoma, represents a stark example of an environmental disaster leading to the abandonment of a once thriving mining community. Established in the early 20th century, Pitcher was situated at the heart of the Tri-State Mining District, an area rich in lead and zinc. The mining operations that fueled the city's economy for decades also led to its downfall, leaving behind a landscape severely contaminated with toxic mine waste, known as chat piles, and rendering the water supply unsafe. The environmental degradation was so severe that Pitcher became part of the Tar Creek Superfund site, designated by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, for cleanup due to its hazardous conditions. In 2008, a government-funded buyout and relocation program was initiated after studies showed that the town was at risk of collapsing into the abandoned mine shafts below. This led to a formal evacuation, turning Pitcher into a modern ghost town. The few structures that remain are overshadowed by the towering chat piles, serving as a grim reminder of the environmental and human costs of unregulated industrial activity. Number 3, East St. Louis, Illinois, has been deeply affected by a combination of industrial decline, systemic disinvestment, and profound social challenges. Historically an industrial center with a vibrant economy, the city began to experience a downturn in the mid-20th century as manufacturing jobs disappeared due to automation and globalization, leading to a significant loss of employment opportunities for its residents. This economic decline was exacerbated by racial segregation and discrimination, which limited opportunities for the African American community that makes up a large portion of the city's population. The withdrawal of economic investment led to a decrease in public services, contributing to a rise in crime rates and furthering the city's reputation for being unsafe. Additionally, East St. Louis has struggled with political instability and corruption, which have hindered effective governance and the implementation of necessary reforms and revitalization efforts. The cumulative effect of these issues has left the city with numerous abandoned properties, a depleted tax base, and a population struggling with poverty and lack of access to essential services. Number 2. Stockton, California, faced a significant financial crisis that led to its bankruptcy in 2012, marking a critical point in the city's history. This financial turmoil was not due to a single cause, but rather a culmination of several factors, including aggressive expansion efforts, unfunded pension liabilities, and the 2008 financial crisis, which drastically reduced property values and tax revenues. Stockton's economic challenges were compounded by high rates of unemployment and crime, which strained city resources and impacted the quality of life for its residents. The bankruptcy, one of the largest of its kind for a U.S. city at the time, forced Stockton to make difficult decisions regarding cuts to public services, including police and fire departments, exacerbating the city's safety and infrastructure challenges. In the years following its bankruptcy, Stockton has been on a path to recovery, implementing financial management reforms and investing in economic development and community programs. Efforts to revitalize the downtown area and improve public safety have shown promising signs of progress. The city's approach to recovery and its focus on long-term sustainability. Number 1. Reading, Pennsylvania. Once a manufacturing stronghold known for its production of textiles and steel, has faced a stark economic transformation, leading to its designation as one of the most impoverished cities in the United States. The city's decline can be traced back to the latter half of the 20th century, when global competition and industrial restructuring led to the closure of factories and loss of blue-collar jobs, foundational to Reading's economy. This economic shift left the city with high unemployment rates, a shrinking tax base, and increased social challenges, including housing instability and educational disparities. The impact of deindustrialization was exacerbated by suburbanization, where middle- and upper-income residents moved to surrounding areas, further draining the city of economic resources and vitality. Despite these challenges, Reading has been the focus of concerted efforts to rejuvenate its economy and community. Initiatives aimed at downtown revitalization, support for small businesses, and improvements in education are part of a broader strategy to address the systemic issues facing reading.